Hello, everyone. Let me see if I can get this set up, what I am trying to do. And let's see, comments. Okay, welcome, everyone. I am so glad to be here today. And if you haven't been here before, my name is Terri Hartley at Rustic Barn Cards. And I'm so glad that you're joining me today. If you see the little live up in the corner, then you're watching this live. And today is Tuesday, July 12th, 2022. Otherwise, you're watching the replay. Either way, I'm so glad that you found my channel. I really appreciate it. Today I'm going to make 4 cards for you. And because I'm having my July online card class. And you may be thinking, how is that different than when you come live on Tuesday? Well, normally I make just 1 card, but today I'm going to make 4 cards. They're going to be quick and easy cards. And I hope that you'll like them. So today you will be able to receive the card kit for the 4 cards free by placing a $35 order with me. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that when I turn the camera down. You'll get the card kit for the 4 cards I'm making today, plus envelopes and the die cutouts and all the cardstock and a strip of the embellishments that we're going to use on these 4 cards. And you will be emailed the measurements of the cards if you place a $35 order with me and use a certain host code that I have in the description. So if you're watching YouTube, underneath this, it says show more. Click on that and you'll get all of the information and the host code that you need to use. That way I know that you're part of my July online card class. If you're watching this on Facebook, then I will be adding the description above my video after I finish with this today. All right, before we turn the camera down and start stamping, I would like to give away prizes from last week's live. Hi, Connie, good to see you. Now, I can only send the prizes if you live in the United States, so just be aware of that. That's a Stampin' Up rule. So last week we made this card using the hippos, and the month of July I am using celebration items to make my cards. And congratulations to the random drawing to Vay. Vay, I'm not sure if you live in the United States or not, so reach out to me and let me know. And if you do, I need your address so I can send this card and an envelope to you. And then for sharing my video, I have a package of our blending brushes. And remember, when you share, then make sure you let me know that you share so I can get your name in the drawing. Congratulations, Barbara Davis. I do need your address so you can contact me, and the information is down below so you can do that. And I'll get these off to you. And I really appreciate all of you that share because it helps my channel to grow. And for I had a random drawing for those of you that placed an order with me since my last live last week. And congratulations, Kay Shriver of Gallatin, Tennessee. You were the winner of the random drawing. And I will be sending this Amaryllis, a balloon stamp set to you. And I do have your address. Hi, Judy. Good to see you. So as I was saying, I'm going to be making 4 cards. They're quick and easy, and you can receive a card kit free to make all 4 of these cards by placing a $35 order with me. Now, don't forget, if you are on YouTube, I really appreciate it if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel. It really helps my small business grow by clicking that subscribe button and that bell, so you'll be notified when I upload videos or go live. And if you're watching this on Facebook, if you can give me a like, a thumbs up, hearts. Facebook really likes that and helps my business grow. So we're going to turn the camera down and we are going to do some stamping. Get the lights on here. Okay, well, just as a reminder, Sale-A-Bration is going on now, July and August. And that means when you place a qualifying order, you can choose an item out of here. So we have free items if you place a $50 order. We also have items in here if you place a $100 order. And this week, I'm going to be using, on page 14 of the Sale-A-Bration, for my cards, I'm going to be using the stamp set Wonderful World, which comes with the Designer Series paper. And this is free with a $100 purchase. So I'm going to be using the stamp set and the Designer Series paper for my 4 cards. You don't need to worry. If you don't have this stamp set, you can use any stamp set to make these cards that I'm going to be sharing with you today. Our mini catalog, July through December. If you do not have a demonstrator, do not have a catalog, reach out to me and I would love to send you a catalog. I'm also going to be using a stamp set from the annual catalog, because if you notice the Wonderful World stamp set, it's got beautiful images of flowers, but it doesn't have any sentiments or greetings, right? So I am going to be using in the annual catalog on page 26, we're going to be using, it's called Go To Greetings. And what I really love about the stamp set is that it has different fonts and different sizes. So for an example, you have Happy Birthday, then you have Happy Birthday again, and then you have Happy Birthday a 3rd time. But all 3 are different sizes, which can fit different sizes of your labels and your cards that you are making. So you have Just a Note, Thank You, Hello, Thinking of You, Happy Birthday. So we're going to be using some of these sentiments for our cards. And as I said, we're going to be using Wonderful World. And that does come with Designer Series paper. And this Designer Series paper is so beautiful that I want to take a minute and show it to you, because I don't think the brochure does it justice. But isn't this just gorgeous? So I'm going to show you, and this is the back side that has the leaves. Then we have another with, I have upside down there. That looks better. Larger flowers. And then on the back side, we have leaves. And this is another sheet, and you get 2 of each of these. So you get 2 sheets of Designer Series paper, 12 by 12. But again, I just think it's gorgeous. And again, if you spend $35 with me, and that is in the month of July, and that's through the 26th, and then the end of July, I will be cutting everything and sending out the card kits that you will receive. Spend $35, you'll receive the measurements in your email, plus the 4 card kit to make 4 cards that we're going to make today, and envelopes. If you spend $50, you earn a free Sale-A-Bration item. Any choice from the brochure that qualifies, you'll get and I will send you a full package of our iridescent rhinestones instead of just a few for your cards, your email measurements, plus the 4 card kit. And this is the go-to greeting that we're going to be using today that I just showed you in the catalog. We also will be using the stylish shapes. So we'll be using some of these in our cards, and I'm going to be using the third. Let me see. Nope, the next to the largest and the third from the largest. So we're going to be using those for our very first card. So let me show you. This is the first card that we're going to use. And actually, I'm only using on this first card the Designer Series paper from the Wonderful World. And I'm using a greeting from the Go-To Greetings. So we're not using any stamped images from our stamp set. And I'm just going to, so if you receive this card kit, this is how it would look, along with an envelope. And we are going to be using mossy metal for our card base. And we have basic white to go inside. And again, all the measurements will be emailed to you. If you place a $35 order, you'll get all of the measurements. I will give you some of the measurements today for some of the cards. This is just a basic layer size that goes inside, and a basic card base. I want to get that lined up. And I have one more card that's different than this that I'm going to share with you when we finish this card, and that will be the one I will be having a drawing for leaving comments this week for next week. And then we have Flirty Flamingo, and then we have our Designer Series paper that we're going to layer on top. Just going to turn that over, and I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Seal Plus. And we will just center this. And the reason I use Stampin' Seal on the Designer Series paper is only because it's a little bit thinner than cardstock, and I don't want my adhesive to show through. And I'm just going to adhere this layer right on top of this mossy green, or mossy metal. Mossy metal. I think I said mossy green, but mossy metal. Because I decided to make up my own names for our colors and Stampin' Up. Okay. And then I have already die cut, and you would have two just like this. And we're going to take our greeting, thank you, and we're going to stamp that in mossy metal. And then I'm going to do that about right in the middle. I didn't get it as dark as I wanted, but that's okay because I have a backup right here. And then I am going to turn this over, and you can see that I stamped something else on the back of this, but that's okay. And then we will center this on our flirty flamingo layer. And then I'm going to pop this up with dimensionals. Yes, Connie, I love this. This DSP is beautiful. I did not expect it to be quite so lovely, because I do not think the brochure shows it, you know, just it's a lot more gorgeous than in the brochure. So it is very, very beautiful. But I'm going to show you how to make a double. We're going to use some linen thread and make a little bow, but I'm going to attempt to show you, because when you do something on camera, so it doesn't always work, right? So we're going to make this bow, and notice it has several little layers there. And you may already know this trick, but I'm going to take the twine, and I am going to have a piece down here, and then I'm just going to wrap it. And you can wrap it around 3 fingers, but I'm going to wrap it around all 4 of my fingers, my left hand, and you just wrap it around however many times that you want, however many, loops that you want. And then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to snip that. And then I also need another piece. So I'm going to hold these and then I'm going to snip that. And then I am going to pinch this in the middle. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to tie it in a knot. Sometimes I have to use my mouth to get it to work. Okay. Then I want to make sure that I cut off any extra, but I don't want to cut off the 2 that goes with my bow. And we can still cut a little more off. You can also double knot it if you want to, just to make sure that and then I'm going to bring in a glue dot and then we will do a little trimming. So I'm going to bring in this glue dot. And we are going to add our bow right here. And then we do need to clip those little ends. And then there you have your bow. Now let's bring in our iridescent rhinestone. And we are going to add one right up here in the corner. And then we will add one down here. So here is our first card. Get all that linen thread off. So here's our first card. And just to show you another card, I did the same, made it the same way, only I used Starry Night for the card base. And I used Daffodil Delight and another designer series paper. Hi, Vay. Vay, you were one of the winners for the card from last week. So if you live in the United States, you can reach out to me, email me, or go to my website at rusticbarncards.com and email me, and I will send you that card. Okay, so that is our very first card. Let me grab our second card. And set that up. And okay. Now we're ready for the second card. And again, this is my July online card class. And do you want to see the card ahead of time that we're going to make, or you want to be surprised? Okay, Vay, I'll look in my book. If I probably do have your address, so I will reach out to you if I can't find it. Sounds like a plan. This is a card that we're going to make next. Just a note. And on this card, I'm going to be using the painted texture embossing folder. And we're going to be using the dark flirty flamingo. And we're going to be using about 10 inches of this crinkled seam binding. And I think the first thing we're going to do is we are going to color our ribbon, and that way it can dry before we need it. So what I like about some of our ribbon is that you can make it any color that you want. So if we don't have ribbon for the color that you want, you can just take your Stampin' Blends and you can just color. And you can go over, if you want darker, you can go over another, add another coat on there. And then we'll set that aside and let that dry. So our card base is 8.5 by 5.5. And I scored it at 4 1/4. And I'm going to take our bone folder, increase that. And then we have a flirty flamingo, and it's 5 1/4 by 4. And this is the layer that I'm going to go ahead and add in the embossing folder. But I have already embossed it. So I'm going to go ahead and add a designer series paper. This designer series paper is cut at 2 and 5 1/4. I cut it just a little bit longer because, as you know, I like to do that because sometimes if I don't, I might get it a little bit short, and I'd rather have it too long than too short, because if it's too long, I can always trim it. Now you have a choice on this. You can place your designer series paper so you have some of the flirty flamingo showing on both sides, or you can put it right at the edge. So I am going to go ahead and place it right at the edge. And then press it down. And then you see I have a little bit, so I'm extra. And then I'm just going to trim that off. And now we're ready to add this to our card base. And you can use, I like using liquid adhesive on my cardstock layers. And then I usually just use the Stampin' Seal Plus on designer series paper. So then we are going to kind of center this. And then I have a scrap of Pear Pizzazz and Basic White. And I'm going to bring in that this punch, Label Me Lovely punch. And we are going to punch out the Pear Pizzazz. And then I am going to do a little stamping on this card. So we are going to place this so the curve is at the top. I'm going to use Flirty Flamingo. And we're going to use this image from our stamp set. Wonderful World. So I'm going to ink this up. And then I am going to stamp a flower at the top. And I pressed too hard, so we're just going to turn that over and try that again. Then I'm going to turn my label around, and I'm going to go ahead and so I have 2 flowers there, and then I have room to add our sentiment. I'm going to bring in our Memento Black ink, and I've chosen Just a Note. And don't worry, we'll put a little embellishment there to cover that up, right? Real quickly clean my stamps. All right. And now for this, I'm going to bring in and I am going to turn it so the flat side is here. So I want the flat side. And then I'm just going to cut that in 2 pieces. And then we're going to add to our basic white layer. And then we're going to pop this up. So another quick and easy card. So I will just add a strip of not sure what it was. Sometimes you don't use it, but I've been using it, so I'm not sure why I decided to get an extra glue there. Okay, now just press that down. Then we're going to add some adhesive at the top of this. Then I'm going to turn it over because I want to make sure that these are even. And with the liquid glue, you have a little bit of time where you can still move things around if you want to. And I'm going to bring that down just a little bit. Because I want it to be the same here as the same down here. Now I'm going to pop that up with dimensionals. And then we're going to, thank you, Judy. I'm glad you like it. I think it's pretty. I always like to add a dimensional in the middle. Bring in our card base. And we're going to place this about right in the middle. And then our ribbon is dry, so we can make a bow, but to save time, I already made a bow, and we're going to be adding that with a glue dot. So here's a glue dot, and then I just bring the bow to the glue dot, press down, and then peel it off. And we will add it about right here. Going to bring our iridescent rhinestones back in. And let's see, we'll put one maybe up here in the corner. And then we're going to have to put maybe we'll choose a larger one to cover up my mistake, right? We'll try that. Being iridescent, it may not really cover it up. It might just highlight it, but there you go. I'm glad, yes, that bow, I like that too. I thought I kind of gave it something a little bit extra. So here is our second card, Just a Note. So let me move a few things out of the way. And set up for our next card. We're going to be using the label die, one of the label dies from the Stylish Shapes dies. And if you receive the card kit, this is, you will not have your pieces stamped. So you'll need your own ink, your own stamps, but I will be giving you the DSP cut, the cardstock cut, and you'll get the die cut. You just have to do your own stamping. So you'll need your own adhesive and your ink. And I will send you a strip of embellishments too. So for this card, we're going to use Basic White and Starry Sky. And this is the card that we're going to make. So the first thing I'm going to do is that I am going to just add, and we're going to place our card for this orientation. And I'm going to be adding liquid glue to our Starry Sky layer. And this is 5 1/4 by 4 inches. And then our designer series paper, it is 2 inches, 2-inch strips, and then they're cut at 1 1/2 length. So 2 inches across and 1 1/2. And then I want to line them up. So after you cut them, they should line up for you. And what I like to do is to kind of get them where I want them on the card before I do any gluing. So I get it arranged. And then I like taking the first one and gluing that one down first. And then I will. And then I'll do the one in each side. And again, I'm trying to line these up even at the top and get them straight. Just a little bit. And then the extra Basic White is to, the scrap is to die cut out your tag. And then to stamp happy birthday. But to save time, I went ahead and already have this stamped and die cut. And then we're going to pop that up with dimensionals. And then we just have one more card to make. So I told you these are really quick and easy cards. They're each different. And if you do not have the go-to greetings, you could use any stamp set that you have. Then I'm going to bring in the iridescent, and I'm just going to add one. I'm going to add one rhinestone right here. And here's our happy birthday card. Okay, you ready for the last card? Let me go ahead and get set up for this last card. We're going to be using the oval punch, the double oval punch. We're going to be using the large flower image from our stamp set. And from the go-to greetings, we're going to use hello. And this is going to be a fun fold. I do too today. I really like this paper. It is so beautiful. I'm going to clip my directions up here so I can see that. Okay, so what I have a 4.25 by 11 inch of Sahara sand cardstock. And then we're going to need to score it. And I haven't scored it yet. I'm going to do that right now. So again, I have Sahara sand and it's 4.25 by 11. I'm going to place it in the long way. This is one of those really quick fun folds. You do, of course, want to make sure you're using the lighter blade because that's your scoring blade. But I really don't want to score it. So I actually, this time, because I often do score on my fun folds, right? But this time I actually want to cut off 3 inches. So I do want to use the darker blade and I want to actually cut off 3 inches. Okay. And now I'm going to fold this in half. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to just start over. Okay, we're going to start with a sheet of Sahara sand. It's really simple. And we are going to make it 4.25. I'm going to lay this aside. I'm going to turn this the long way. And the first thing I am going to do is that I am going to score 5.5. So I'm going to score 5.5 using the scoring blade. Okay. And now I'm going to go to the 3 inches. And I'm going to cut that. And that's all there is to it. And then I'm going to fold on this score line. So here's our card base, and then here's the 3 inches that we cut off. Okay. And now I'm going to bring in the other pieces that we need. And this is our inside layer. It's going to go inside our card, and we're going to do a little stamping on it. And we're going to do stamping on this basic white. So I'm going to go ahead and open up our Starry Sky. And I'm going to bring in this large flower. And I'm just going to ink up the top flower and just put it in the corner. And then I'm going to bring in this basic white, and this is a 2 3/4 by 4. And I'm going to go ahead and ink up the flower stamp again. And I'm going to stamp it in the middle. And then I'm going to stamp it again over on the left without re-inking. And then I'm going to ink this up again. And this time I'm going to stamp on my grid paper because again, I want it to be stamped off. And we are going to take this scrap of Sahara sand, and I just want the small oval. And I'm going to ink up hello. And we're going to stamp that on. Then we have all of our stamping finished and we're ready to put our card together. So let's go ahead and add our inside layer. And you could always add a stamp of greeting inside your layer. But I'm just going to leave it blank to do some writing on. Press that down. And then I'm going to bring in, this is that 3-inch that we cut off our card base. And we're going to use that to layer our basic white that we stamped the flowers on. So I'll add some adhesive. I'm going to bring our card base back in. And I have cut designer series paper. I'm not going to use this. You could use this side, but I'm going to be using this side right here. And we're going to add that to our fold right here. So I'm going to bring in our Stampin' Sale Plus. And then try to get that lined up because that Stampin' Sale Plus is not very forgiving. And then I'm going to be attaching this layer right here, but I need to just put the dimensionals on this left side. I'm going to pop it up with dimensionals because I want to be able to open the card. So let me see what I've done with my dimensionals right here. Okay, and so I can just put my finger right there, put the first dimensional, and then I know that I'm good. So again, another quick, this is a really quick fun fold. I always like to add lots of dimensionals, especially if I mail them. I don't want anything to come apart. Connie, you say you always start with the outside ones? I have to make sure that I... Okay, and now we are going to place this right here. And of course, we need to add our hello. I think we can get 2 dimensionals on that, 1 on each side. And I'm going to place it about right here. Bring in those iridescent, and we've been using the medium. This comes, there's 3 sizes. I believe there's 200 of iridescent rhinestones. You have small, medium, and large. So I'm going to use 2 of the large, maybe. Well, there we go. Put 1 right there and 1 right here in the middle of that flower. And I think then I'll use a medium and put it right there on that flower. So here is our 4th card. Let's go ahead and look at all the cards. Well, it doesn't look any, I'm going to flip it over, maybe make it look better. So here is the first card that we made, the second card that we made, the third card that we made, and and the fourth card that we made. So let me know which card that you like the best. I would love to know. And again, I'm using that designer series paper from the Sale-A-Bration. A Wonderful World. And if you would like to receive this card kit, a card kit in the mail that would have all of the die cutouts, the designer series paper cut for you, the card bases, place a $35 order with me, and you'll receive envelopes too, plus the measurements in your email. If you spend $50, you earn a free celebration, your choice, and I'll send you a full package of the iridescent rhinestones instead of just a few for your cards. The email measurements plus the 4 card kit to make these 4 cards. You do need to have your own ink and stamps, but of course you could use any stamp set that you have. If you place a $100 order with me, you will receive a free celebration. I'll send you the full package of iridescent rhinestones, the measurements in your email, the 4 card kit along with envelopes, plus I'll send you a surprise in your package. So which card do you like the best? So let me know which one you like the card, 1, 2, 3, or 4. And that paper is just gorgeous. I think that paper is really, really pretty. So Judy, blue is your favorite color, and you like the third card. That's your favorite. Okay, well, and you have a birthday coming up too, this real soon, I believe, too. So maybe I already have your card made. And Connie, I know you like blue also, I'll bet. So you like that. Happy birthday, yes. Well, I hope that you enjoyed my online card class for July. And again, place a $35 order with me this month, and you will receive in the mail a kit to make all 4 of these cards. And I have more information down below on YouTube in the description, and I'll be adding the information up above on Facebook. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. It helps my small business grow. And if you're on Facebook, give me some likes. And thank you for watching. I plan to be here next Tuesday. Have a wonderful week and happy stamping. Bye, everybody.